Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So let's clear up a few things. First of all, my videos are for kids. When I was 8 years old or so, maybe I saw a Steven Seagal movie or some movie where people are cussing. I wasn't crying, I wasn't worried about it. If Jesus had a video on YouTube where he's cussing, and if I was 8 years old, okay, and I was somebody else who was similar to me, I'd want to see it. And I would think my parents were wrong if they kept me from seeing it. So with that being said, I'd like to bring up an example, before I forget, of a white gentleman from New Orleans who was homeless in the streets. He sees somebody worth $3 million or so, and that person looks at him and says, look, he's not going to pay $1 a week to make sure he has housing. Okay? The person, who's a white homeless gentleman from New Orleans, basically takes that as a fuck you. So he says, hey, fuck me, then fuck you. Okay? Why? Because it's just $52 a year or so, and that person is worth $3 million. Okay? Now say the person's worth $1 million. It's still just $1 a week. Food prices go up and down, gas prices. You're not going to pay that $1 a week to end homelessness, not just for the people on the streets, but for everyone else who's agonizing over the people on the streets, and to make a safer state, and so that you can solve it and move on to something else. But instead, you want to create chaos and act like a bitter person because you can't do the math. When you look back at life, were you better off saying, hey, I was on board with ending homelessness for close to nothing? Okay? Some of the best money you ever spent. So you consider as someone who voted for that, it's like similar to you spending the money yourself to end homelessness. But you voted for other people who have to spend that money too. So you voted to throw in with other people to spend just $1 a week. So when I look at Michigan, right, and I look at the numbers here, when I look at the fact that they don't want to spend $1, $2, $3 a week as millionaires to end homelessness, that's insane. Now, if you're willing to spend the 3, why not the 10, right? You're worth $1 million. You spend like $520 a year, okay? In 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years, like, a little over $2,000. But if you're worth $1 million, what's $2,000? Over 4 years. Okay, so according to MichiganHouse.gov, there's 5.5 million taxpayers in Michigan or so. So if the top, 1 million of them, which is less than 20%, pay $6 a week, okay, on average progressively, you could end homelessness, okay, by winter time, if you collect the money for the year ahead of time, for example, and build as fast as you can. So why shouldn't they do that? They could easily afford it, easily. Okay. It's very sad that they wouldn't pay like $300 on average a year to end homelessness. It's very greedy of them to not be willing to pay $300 each a year, on average progressively much, for them to end homelessness. And instead they play stupid games. The governing class comes together, they play their position. Some might have their head down and not be a big fan of it. Some might speak out as controlled opposition. Again, some might speak out as controlled opposition. Okay, thanks, but no thanks, right? If you're just controlled opposition, you're just accepting the boundaries and maintaining the problem. So how can you say that it's not your fault, okay? You have committed to accepting the boundaries of the beast, even though every decent human being in history knows way better than to do that. And on top of it, the churches have been going on and on about it. Granted, they're all hypocrites, but if a hypocrite tells you not to, cut off your arms and legs for no reason, okay, you think that you would listen to him, whether the hypocrite's dumb enough to do it himself or not, right? And so it is with accepting the boundaries of being some kind of controlled opposition. Bitch.